f of step x. Yesterday I have shown you a graph of f of step x, right? Also today we'll be discussing one more or two more models of graphs in the meanwhile lecture as the problem obtains. In the last part yesterday, what we are doing is that we were discussing about a special function called as Dirichlet function. Once quickly recall that and we'll move forward, right? So yesterday we were discussing about this Dirichlet function. Yeah. So am I audible to all of you? I hope so. Am I audible? Okay. So yesterday we were discussing about a function called as Dirichlet function. What does this Dirichlet function mean? What does this Dirichlet function mean? We have seen some function f of x, which is of this kind. I think I have given you this example. That is f of x is x square, x belongs to q, 2 minus x, x doesn't belongs to q. I think yesterday we have taken this example. That is f of x is equal to x square, x belongs to a rational number, and that is 2 minus x when x is not a rational number. That is, one is a rational number. When x belongs to rational, you got it as x square. When x is not a rational number, that is something like 2 minus x. Then we have seen how to proceed with respect to this problem. The basic idea is that first we have taken a number line. I've taken two rational numbers. We have taken a number line. A number line మీద రెండు rational numbers తీసుకున్నాం. Between any two rational numbers, there are like infinite number of irrational as well as rational numbers. Between any two rational numbers, you can take, there will be infinite number of irrational as well as rational numbers. So our point of continuity, let us apply the basic definition of the continuity of the function. What will be the basic definition of the continuity of the function? Layman's definition will be something like this: left hand limit, and that is equal to the right hand limit, and if that is equal to the value of the function, that function will be termed as continuous function, right? So for this to be continuous, what we have discussed is that just before this one, that is called as left hand limit, just after this one, that will be called as the right hand limit. One is the left hand limit and other will be the right hand limit. One is left hand limit and other is the right hand limit. If the left hand limit, right hand limit and the value of the function are same, then we say that the function is continuous. Then we say that the function is continuous. Am I right? Now, when such a function is obtained, what is that? I don't know whether if I take some neighborhood, proximity of this rational number, ఒక rational number తీసుకొని ఆ rational number కి left side లో ఉన్న దగ్గరలో ఉన్న ఒక value తీసుకున్నాం, like whenever you are finding a limit. So what happens here? Here I don't know whether whatever this thing, whatever I am taking, I don't know whether this is rational or irrational. I don't know whether that is a rational number or an irrational number. So the best possible way to define the continuity of such function, is to know this is some rational and this is irrational. Even if that is a rational number or if that is a irrational number, if those values are absolutely same, adi rational aina irrational aina rendu values same avute man continuous ani cheppukuntam. Am I right? Right? So for these to be equal, just equate these two things. X square is something like 2 minus x. What we have done is this part. X square is 2 minus x. So you got x square plus x minus 2 is equal to 0. So you got x is equal to something like 2 and x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 1. Got something like x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 1. అంటే ఈ x is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 1 దగ్గర మాత్రమే కంటిన్యూస్ గా ఉంటుంది. ఎందుకంటే x is equal to minus 2 దగ్గర ఏమవుతుంది? What is happening at x is equal to minus 2? Whether I go just before this or whether I go just after this, a rational ki irrational avvachu, irrational avvachu, value same వస్తుంది. Whether that is a rational number or that is an irrational number. If I substitute something like this is something like 4 and this is some whatever, if I am substituting something like that, అది rational avvachu, irrational avvachu, మీకు value same వస్తుంటుంది. అలా సేమ్ వచ్చిన పాయింట్స్ దగ్గర మాత్రమే కంటిన్యూస్ అవుతుంది. In the other cases, that will not be treated as the continuous function, because you see that 2 square is 4, 2 plus 2 is 4, 1 square is 1, and 2 minus 1 is 1. అంటే రేషనల్ అయినా ఇర్రేషనల్ అయినా సేమ్ వాల్యూ వస్తుంది. అంటే నైబర్హుడ్ లో రేషనల్ అవ్వచ్చు, ఇర్రేషనల్ అవ్వచ్చు, ద వాల్యూ రిమైన్స్ ద సేమ్. సో we are terming that function to be continuous as per the basic definition of the continuity. Hope you have understood this now. So just moving forward, today we'll see some different kind of problems, and we'll try to go to a certain depth of this problem, because there will be some students who will be enjoying that problem. And if your concept, as I have mentioned, that if your concepts of limits and functions are very good, you can enjoy this chapter like anything else. అంటే ఒకసారి ఈ చాప్టర్ ని రివైజ్ చేసే ముందు, మీకు రివిజన్ టైంలో అయినా ఒకసారి ఈ చాప్టర్ ని రివైజ్ చేసే ముందు, యూ ట్రై టు revise that functions and limits first, because you'll be using many concepts of that here, right? I hope this is clear. Yesterday we are discussing about this. One more, let's see two more things here, right? Now f of x is equal to x square minus x plus 1, x belongs to q, and something like 2x square minus 6x plus 7, x doesn't belongs to q. Number of points of continuity. A function is defined like this. F of x is something like x square minus x plus 1, x belongs to a rational number, and that is like something like 2x square minus 6x plus 7 when x is not a rational number. Find the number of points of continuity. Please try that for 1 minute and you come back. Please try that for 1 minute. I hope you are trying that. I hope you are trying that, because personally I cannot check you, because this is a digital platform. Please try that, so that we'll discuss that, so that you will get a clarity about whatever we are discussing. Please try that for 1 minute. I hope all of you are trying. And whatever the answer which you are getting, please write that answer in the chat box. Whatever the answer you are getting, please write that answer in the chat box. Someone mentioned message like, sir, your voice is not clear. Is my voice clear now? Is my voice clear? I hope so. Yeah, 2 points, 2 comma 3, very good. 2 points, perfect, excellent. 2 points, 2 comma 3, excellent. 2 comma 3, excellent. 2 comma 3, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 3, very good. 2 comma 3, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 3, almost. Yeah, Divesh, 2 comma 3. Yes, many of you have answered that question, right? Simple logic is that అది రేషనల్, మనం అర్థం చేసుకోవాల్సిన లాజిక్ ఏంటి ఇక్కడ, అది రేషనల్ అయినా ఇర్రేషనల్ అయినా సేమ్ వాల్యూ వచ్చినప్పుడు కంటిన్యూస్ అవుతుంది. సో రేషనల్ ఇర్రేషనల్ రెండు సేమ్ వాల్యూస్ రావాలి అంటే జస్ట్ ఈక్వేట్ దీస్ 2 things. Nothing about this problem. Just equate these 2 things. You'll get a simple quadratic here. Something like this. X square minus 5x plus 6. So x is equal to 2 comma 3. At this point, it is continuous. At this point, it is continuous. So you're something, it will be like this. And the options lo ila kuda untundi. Continuous everywhere, continuous at 2 points, just continuous and discontinuous everywhere except at 2 points. And the options ila istantaru. Discontinuous everywhere except at 2 points. So you be very careful reading that question again and again, so that you will not lose the marks in overlooking that, right? So answer is that. Most of you have answered, very good. Now let us test your understanding of a limit. Let us test your understanding of a limit. Okay, question will be this one. Number of real points of continuity. I'll change this. Let me check this. Please do try that. I'm checking your understanding of your limits. I'm checking your understanding of the limits. F of x is something like x square minus 3x plus 3 if x is a rational number. Limit n tends to infinity, n whole power 1 by n. Limit n tends to infinity, n whole power 1 by n if x doesn't belongs to a rational number. What are the number of real points of continuity and what are they? My question is number of real points of the continuity of this function. Please write your answers in this. 1 comma 2. Very good. Excellent. 1 comma minus 1. Okay. Please check your answer. F of x is something like this. X square minus 3x plus 3. X belongs to a rational number. Limit n tends to infinity. N whole power 1 by n. X doesn't belongs to a rational number. What are the number of real points of continuity? Number of real points of continuity. I'm not using anything. Concept regarding this I have taught you in this chapter of continuity. But to solve this, you require your analysis or you require your concept of limits. అంటే నేను ఆల్రెడీ చెప్తూ వస్తున్నాను ఈ లెక్చర్ సిరీస్ లో ఒక చాప్టర్ పోతే నెక్స్ట్ చాప్టర్ పోతుంది. If you are losing a chapter in this series of calculus, you will be losing that next chapter, right? 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, very good. 2 comma 1, excellent, excellent. 2 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 2 points, very good, very good. Mohit 1 comma 2, Srijanya 1 comma 2, Oppo 1 comma 2, perfect, perfect, very good. I hope many students have done that, right? Let's try to discuss some concept here. I think you might have learned in the chapter of limits. Let's try to recall that, right? Okay, listen. They're asking you number of real points of continuity. Ipudu problem ila teeskunte, this part is very clear. This part is very clear. The only answer or the analysis of that question lies with respect to this part. And if rendu equate chesi, then you need to get the answer corresponding to that question. If rendu equate chesi tarvata kanukkovali meer. Ante kada? So to equate these two things, what you require is that you require to solve this problem. Limit n tends to infinity. This is n whole power 1 by n. I need to get the value of this one. I need to get the value of this one. You may adopt many particular ways. You may adopt many particular ways to solve that. And a problem solve cheyadaniki chala particular ways unnai. There are so many ways. But the way I like the most, I think you might have studied or not studied. I don't know about that. But I keep on teaching my students this way. I keep on teaching all my students this way, by which you will get the answer within less than half minute. By which you'll get the answer with less than half minute. There is a theorem called as Cauchy's. There is a convergence theorem. There is a convergence theorem. If I go in depth into that subject, if I go in depth into this one, the theorem states something like this. If limit n tends to infinity, limit n tends to infinity, an whole power 1 by n. Limit n tends to infinity, an whole power 1 by n. This is identically equal to limit n tends to infinity, an plus 1 by an. This is that statement. I think you might have studied in the chapter of limits. Because to prove that, I need to go back to limits. Whenever we are discussing about limits, I may discuss about that. So the convergence theorem states this. Limit n tends to infinity, an whole power 1 by n. That is nothing but limit n tends to infinity, an plus 1 by an. What is the meaning of this one? Provided an is convergent. Convergent, I can write series. Provided an is a convergent series. అంటే కొందరికి అర్థం అవ్వకపోతే you revise your chapter of limits. ఎందుకంటే ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ లిమిట్స్ నుండి వస్తుంది, రైట్? అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ స్టిల్ డోంట్ ఫాలో, యూ కెన్ మెసేజ్ ఆర్ యూ కెన్ కాంటాక్ట్ మీ ఆఫ్టర్ ద క్లాస్ సో దట్ ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ దిస్. ద చాట్ బాక్స్ లో రాస్తున్నారు ఎలా వస్తుంది అనేది. ఎలా వస్తుందంటే యూ హ్యావ్ టు రెఫర్ యువర్ చాప్టర్ ఆఫ్ లిమిట్స్ ఆర్ ఎల్స్ యూ కెన్ కాంటాక్ట్ మీ ఆఫ్టర్ ద క్లాస్, ఐ విల్ ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ యూ. an, this is a convergence limit. Same thing, this is some convergence series. n అనేది ఒక కాన్వర్జెంట్ సిరీస్. ఇక్కడ n అనేది ఒక కాన్వర్జెంట్ సిరీస్. సింపుల్ గా ఈ కాన్వర్జెంట్ సిరీస్ ప్రకారం there is no need to take any tension. There is no need to take any tension regarding that problem. What you do is that just take limit n tends to infinity n power 1 by n. What you do is that this is nothing but limit n tends to infinity a n plus 1 divided by an. an plus 1 ante entidi? An is nothing but whatever this an which you have here, that is nothing but n. Ante an plus 1 ante n plus lo n plus 1 rayandi. So this is limit n tends to infinity n plus 1 divided by n. So your answer will be ఎంత అవుతుంది? 1. Limit n tends to infinity n plus 1 by n, that is nothing but 1. Now what do you have to solve? You have to solve this problem now with respect to that. To solve that problem with respect to that, simply x square minus 3x plus 3 and this is equal to 1. So you get x square minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. So x is equal to 1 comma 2. So you get the answer as x is equal to 1 comma 2. Ante this is very important. This concept whatever you are learning here, this is very important because that is giving you a direct answer. Ante kottaga undochu, chala mandiki kottaga undochu, but most precise thing అంటే మీకు ఆన్సర్ less than half minute లో వచ్చేస్తుంది ఇది వాడితే, if I just go in depth of the subject. So your answer will be this one. This will be continuous everywhere, this will be discontinuous everywhere except at x is equal to 1 comma 2. ఇది రాసుకోండి ఎవరైనా రాసుకోవాలంటే, ఒకవేళ రాసుకోలేకపోతే స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీసుకోండి, రైట్? ఓకే, I hope this is clear. For this is obtained from limits. Next, right? Okay, I hope this is clear. Sir, can we take limit 1 by 10 n tends to 0? Okay, why can't we take a logarithm on both sides? Sir, can we take 1 by n tends to 0? Oh, okay, that is way, because what I'm telling is that there are so many ways of solving that, but the way which I like, even if you take some logarithm or if you convert with respect to some integral, అంటే అది ఇంటెగ్రల్ కన్వర్ట్ కూడా చేయొచ్చు, or else you can use some concept of complex number to solve that. Complex number కి కన్వర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు, ఇంటెగ్రల్ కి కన్వర్ట్ చేయొచ్చు, సాల్వ్ చేయొచ్చు దాన్ని. Everything is fine, but I'm showing you the shortest possible way. అంటే ఈ ప్రాబ్లం లో వేరే మెథడ్ ఈ మెథడ్ రెండు సేమ్ ఆన్సర్ తొందరగా ఇవ్వచ్చు, but if the complexity of the problem is increased, this is the best way in which you can get the answer in within less than 1 minute. Okay, hope this is clear. Answer for that will be continuous everywhere except at x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2. Next problem. So somewhere there has to be something like, you have to guess some problem, something like next problem, maximum of number of discontinuities in minus pi comma pi. Maximum of mod of tan x comma e power mod x. Find the number of discontinuities in minus pi comma pi. Please solve that for 1 minute. Please try that for 1 minute. Maximum of mod of tan x and e power mod x, number of discontinuities in minus pi comma pi. I told you how to draw the graph for that. I think on the other day I told you how to draw a graph for that. అంటే f of x నుండి modulus of f of x ఎలా గీయాలో చెప్పాను, f of x నుండి f of mod x గ్రాఫ్ కూడా ఎలా గీయాలో చెప్పాను. use that, and how to draw maxima or minima corresponding to that. I've told you that also. Yeah, answers very good. 2, 1, no point of discontinuities. 6, Nagameda, 6, 4, 2, 2, 2. Very good. Most of you people are answering that. Excellent. Most of you people are answering that. Excellent, excellent. 2, 4, 2, 2, Charishma 0, 2, 4, 6, 2, 2. Excellent, excellent. Most of you are answering that. Very good. Very good. So they're asking you modulus of tan x, comma e power mod x. They're asking you maximum of modulus of tan x, comma e power mod x. Number of discontinuities in minus pi comma pi. Right? So first, what you need to do? Modulus of tan x, graph of modulus of tan x. This is pi by 2, at which it is discontinuous, minus pi by 2, let's say, pi, let's say, minus pi. So tan x graph looks like this. Now, as this is present on the negative side of modulus of that one, how to draw modulus of this one? Reflect the same onto top of x-axis. I told you modulus. Take this part, reflect the same onto top of the x-axis. Right? Now, this part, again you will get something like this. Reflect the same onto top of this x-axis. Right? Now, this part, again you will get something like this, as I guess. Right? As a this is the graph which is obtained. So this is your graph for modulus of tan x in your interval of minus pi to pi. This is the graph of your modulus of tan x in your interval of minus pi to pi. Now e power mod x graph ela geestaru? Draw e power x, erase the graph which is present for the negative side of your x-axis. Erase the graph which is present for the negative side of your x-axis, and whatever is present for your positive side of x-axis, take the reflection of that graph about y-axis. Ante y-axis ni mirror ga teeskoni, what you do is that, imagine this as a door. Idoka door anukondi. Imagine this as a door. Idoka door anukondi. What you do is that, just open this door like this. What you do is just open a door like this. You will get a reflection of that one like this. Right? Now you can see this part. At 1, I hope this is clear. Now you can count. What they're asking you is this part. Now they're asking you maximum of tan x comma e power mod x. Maxima or minima graphs giyali ante em cheyali? Draw all the graphs on the same set of coordinate axis. Ante anni graphs same set of coordinate axis meeda giyandi. Right? After drawing that, for every segment you take whatever is present upward. Ante paina maximum annaru, paina edi untundo adi teeskondi. Minimum ante kinda edi untundo adi teeskondi. For maximum you take whatever is present above that. For minimum you take whatever is present below that. So in this segment, this part, in this segment, this part, in this segment, this part, this part, this part, this part, this part. Now number of points of discontinuity. This is one point of discontinuity. This is second point of discontinuity. Graph is becoming discontinuous. I'll erase everything now. It will be something like this. graph will be something like this. One discontinuity, two discontinuities. Which is this. Right? I hope this is clear. Sir, once again draw, Ramakrishna, once again draw modulus of tan x graph. Modulus of tan x, there is nothing in that. Please listen. First you draw, what you do is that you try to draw tan x graph, something like this. You try to draw tan x graph. After drawing tan x, they're asking you modulus of tan x. How do you draw modulus of f of x? And I'm already discussed cheskunnam. How do we draw modulus of that part? Whatever is present above your x-axis, keep it as it is. Now, whatever is present below your x-axis, whatever is present below your x-axis, take the reflection of that one above your x-axis. Ante ila unna graph ni ee part edaithe below part undo a below part ni reflection teeskondi. Wherever there is a below part, you take the reflection of that one. Wherever there is the above part, you keep it as it is like that. So that is how you draw modulus of f of x. Hope this is clear. Next. Next part is something like, so we'll discuss some results again. I'll write if f of x is continuous in closed interval. First point is something like, there exists a minimum small m and a maximum capital M values for f of x. There exists a minimum and there exists a maximum values for f of x. Next. Second, the range so let me write this, then I'll discuss about that. The range is defined in a closed interval, that is small m comma capital M. The range is defined in a closed interval, small m comma capital M. Third is something like this. F of x covers every value f of x covers every value in f of a or f of b, or more likely what can I write is that f of x covers every value between, that is, or I can write for every alpha which belongs to small m comma capital M, there exists a beta such that beta belongs to okay. These are the statements which we are writing. These are the statements which we wrote. Now let's try to discuss about this statement. If f is continuous in closed interval a comma b, there exists a minimum value m and there exists a maximum value m for f of x. There exists a minimum value m and there exists a maximum value m for f of x. The range is defined in the closed interval small m comma capital M. The range is defined in a closed interval small m comma capital M. And f of x covers every value between small m and capital M. Or in other words, every value between small m and capital M are obtainable. Every value between small m and capital M are obtainable. Or for every alpha which belongs to small m comma capital M, there exists a beta such that f of beta is equal to alpha. Both says the same thing. This is like a language definition and this is a mathematical definition. Nothing is. This is very simple. Let's try to understand with the help of a simple graph. Okay, simple graph తీసుకొని we'll try to understand that with the help of a very simple graph. Listen carefully. And కొన్ని problems లో ఇదే important. Like yesterday we have discussed the problems on rational number. F maps from R to Q అనే problem ని already discuss చేసాం మనం, right? And the same background, this goes with the same background. Now I'll take something like A, I'll take something like B, I'll take something like A and I'll take something like B, right? Now what they're saying is that if f of x is continuous in a comma b, and a graphical point of view lo continuous ela cheptam, we are talking about continuity of that function. In the graphical point of view, how do you talk about continuity? There should be no gaps in that graph, right? There should be no gaps in that graph, right? Now they are saying whenever such a thing is happening between a and b, whenever such a thing is happening between a and b, so there exists a minimum and maximum values of f of x. So what I'll do is that, let's say the functional value at a is f of a, is capital A anukunnam. Functional value at b, let's say this is f of b, let's say this is something like capital B. Functional value at this point, let's say f of a, that is capital A. Functional value at this b, at this point b, that is something like capital B. Now what they are saying, f of x is continuous in closed interval a comma b. F of x is continuous in closed interval a comma b. Then meaning enti? What is the meaning of that? When f of x is continuous in closed interval a comma b, the meaning of that is that there should be a graph which is existing or which is joining a and b. There should be a graph, there should be a continuous graph which is joining a and b. Let's say I'll take something like this, or else I'll take something like this, or else you do something like this. One is this part. Second, I'll draw something like this, f of a, f of b, right? F of b, let's say I'll draw something like this. I'll draw any such graph. I'm joining a and b, and a continuous graph giyali kabatti a and b madhyalo graph gisam. I'm drawing a graph something like this. What they are saying is that for that function to be continuous, there should be a minima and a maximum value which is existing. Meer ila gisar anukondi. You see, this is the minima, this is the maxima. You draw any sort of graph, minima, maxima, minima, maxima, any sort of graph. Put function continuous kaledu anukondi. Let's say there is f of a and there is f of b. If a function is not continuous, what happens? Let's say this is a, this is b, right? If a function is not continuous, I'll draw some graph like this, f of a, and from b I'm drawing something like f of b, non-continuous. So I cannot say whether a minima or a maxima exists. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు discontinuous అయింది అనుకోండి, something like this. If I'm drawing something discontinuous, a అనే ఫంక్షన్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది, b అనే ఫంక్షన్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది, ఇక్కడ ఇలా ఇన్ఫినిటీకి వెళ్ళింది, ఇన్ఫినిటీ నుండి మళ్ళీ ఇట్లా జాయిన్ చేసుకుంటూ వచ్చాం. This tends to infinity. If this is tending to infinity, infinity is like a ghost. You can talk to a human being, you cannot talk to a ghost. A function infinity వరకు వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఆ రియల్నెస్ అనేది కోల్పోతుంది ఆ ఫంక్షన్. The realness property of that function will be lost. What will be the nature of the function at infinity? You cannot know. Nobody can know, because that is like a ghost. You can talk to a human being, but you cannot talk to a ghost. That is a human being. You'll ask that function, hey, what's your nature? If that is a ghost, you cannot ask a ghost something like that, what is your nature? So this is like a ghost. Whenever that goes to infinity, it is like a ghost. You cannot talk to that. You cannot ask that. So the nature of the function is not known at infinity. అంటే ఇన్ఫినిటీకి వెళ్తే ఫంక్షన్ ఎలా బిహేవ్ చేస్తుందో తెలియదు. సో అప్పుడు మినిమా మాక్సిమా గురించి మీరు మాట్లాడలేరు, రైట్? సో రియల్ నెంబర్ సెట్ లో మాత్రమే మాట్లాడాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఇన్ఫినిటీ వరకు వెళ్ళలేదు. ఆల్మోస్ట్ చాలా హై నెంబర్ వెళ్ళినా కూడా ఏదో ఒక ఫైనైట్ నెంబర్ వరకు వెళ్ళి మళ్ళీ బ్యాక్ సైడ్ వస్తుంది ఫంక్షన్. ఎందుకంటే ఇవి రెండు పాయింట్స్ ని కలపాలి మీరు. ఇవి రెండు పాయింట్స్ ని ఈ పాయింట్ నుండి ఈ పాయింట్ వరకు కలపాలి. సో అలా చేసిన క్రమంలో if I'm doing that, if I'm mixing these, if I'm joining these two things, definitely there will be a minima and there will be a maxima. Chudandi, first point is satisfied with the help of a graph, right? Now second point, the range is defined on a closed interval small m comma capital M. The range is defined on a closed interval small m comma capital M. The meaning enti? Range ante enti? Exhaustive set of values of the function. Range ante enti? Exhaustive set of values of the function. Exhaustive set of values of the function. Someone mentioned that voice is not clear. I think I'm audible now. Please check your internet connectivity. Okay. Now f of x, if I'm drawing that, what happens? In a closed interval small m comma capital M will be obtained. Ikkada oka minimum value undi, maximum value undi. Exhaustive set of all the values of obtained by that function. అంటే డొమైన్ సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేసినప్పుడు ఫంక్షన్ కి ఏదైతే వాల్యూస్ వస్తున్నాయో ఆ వాల్యూస్ కి ఎగ్జాస్టివ్ సెట్ నే రేంజ్ అంటున్నాం, అంతే కదా? ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఎక్స్ స్క్వేర్ ఉంది, 1 సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే 1 వస్తుంది, 2 సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే 2 వస్తుంది, 2 సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే 4 వస్తుంది, అలా 1.1 1.2 ఫర్ ఆల్ దట్ ఎక్స్ విచ్ ఇస్ డిఫైన్డ్. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ డ్రాయింగ్ ఎ సెట్, ఎగ్జాస్టివ్ సెట్, దట్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ as రేంజ్. సో ఖచ్చితంగా ఈ రేంజ్ అనేది చూడండి, ఒక మినిమం వాల్యూ ఉంది, మాక్సిమం వాల్యూ ఉంది. ఈ ఫంక్షన్ తీసుకునే వాల్యూస్ అన్ని ఏ అండ్ బి మధ్యలో, ఈ ఫంక్షన్ తీసుకునే వాల్యూస్ అన్ని m and m మధ్యలో ఉన్నాయి. బిట్వీన్ a and b, వాట్ ఎవర్ ద వాల్యూస్ దట్ ఫంక్షన్ ఇస్ టేకింగ్, దట్ ఈస్ లైక్ బిట్వీన్ a and b, m and m. థర్డ్, ఫంక్షన్ కవర్స్ ఎవ్రీ వాల్యూ బిట్వీన్ m and m. మీనింగ్ ఏంటి చూడండి, ఇలా రాసినప్పుడు చూడండి, యు కంపేర్ దీస్ టూ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్. ఇవి రెండు ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ని కవర్ చేయండి. ఇప్పుడు ఇలా ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈ ఏ అండ్ బి మధ్యలో, దట్ ఈస్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ ఈ ఎం నుండి స్మాల్ ఎం నుండి క్యాపిటల్ ఎం వరకు ప్రతి వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్, ఇప్పుడు ప్రతి వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ కి ఏదో వై ఉంటుంది. ఐ థింక్ ఐఎమ్ క్లియర్. ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్, అంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ కి, ఈ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ కి ఇక్కడ వై వాల్యూ వస్తుంది, ఈ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ కి ఇక్కడ వై వాల్యూ వస్తుంది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఫర్ దిస్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ వై వాల్యూ, ఫర్ దిస్ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్ దెర్ ఇస్ అ వై వాల్యూ. అంటే ఈ m and m మధ్యలో ప్రతి వాల్యూకి ఒక y వాల్యూ వస్తుంది. బిట్వీన్ ఎవ్రీ వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ m and m there exists a y value, right? So that is what we are saying. Function covers every value between m and m, or in other terms every value between m and m are obtainable. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి, for every alpha which belongs to small m comma capital M. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్ఫా ఇక్కడ ఉంది అనుకుందాం, వాళ్ళు చెప్పేది ఏంటి? దిస్ ఇస్ లైక్ రివర్స్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ స్టేట్మెంట్. వెరీ సింపుల్. ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ ఆల్ఫా విచ్ బిలాంగ్స్ టు m కామా m, ఆల్ఫా అనేది ఒక y వాల్యూ, m and m ఏంటి? ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూ. ఫంక్షనల్ వాల్యూ ఎక్కడ రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తారు? y యాక్సిస్ మీద రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తారు, అంతే కదా? సో ఫర్ ఎవ్రీ ఆల్ఫా విచ్ ఇస్ బిలాంగింగ్ హియర్, దెర్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ m అండ్ క్యాపిటల్ M. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఆల్ఫాకి ఇలా తీసుకుందాం, ఈ ఆల్ఫా కరెస్పాండింగ్ గా ఒక x వాల్యూ అయితే రావాలి కదా, సంథింగ్ లైక్ లెట్స్ సే బీటా. ఈ f ఆఫ్ బీటా అనేది ఆల్ఫా అవుతుంది. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఇప్పుడు ఆల్ఫా ఇక్కడ ఉంది అనుకుందాం, ఇప్పుడు ఆల్ఫా ఇక్కడ ఉంది అనుకుంటే ఇగో ఈ పాయింట్ దగ్గర బీటా వస్తుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఆల్ఫా ఇక్కడ ఉంది అనుకుందాం, ఆల్ఫా ఇక్కడ ఉంది అనుకుందాం, సంథింగ్ లైక్ దట్. మళ్ళీ ఈ పాయింట్ దగ్గర అలా ఆల్ఫా వస్తుంది. ఆల్ఫా ఇక్కడ ఉంది అనుకుందాం, ఆల్ఫా ఇక్కడ ఉంది అనుకుంటే ఈ పాయింట్ దగ్గర బీటా వస్తుంది. అంటే ఈ రేంజ్ లో ఏదో ఒక వాల్యూ తీసుకుంటే, లైక్ ఇమేజ్ అండ్ ప్రీ ఇమేజ్ కాన్సెప్ట్, ఏదో ఒక వాల్యూకి ఈ ఆల్ఫా అనేది జనరేట్ అయ్యి ఉండాలి. అంటే ప్రతి వాల్యూ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ఫాకు ఒక బీటా ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతుంది. అంటే ప్రతి వాల్యూ between m and capital M are covered. అంటే m and m మధ్యలో ప్రతి వాల్యూ కవర్ అవుతుంది అని అర్థం. This is what. Fourth, right? I think you might have learned in the chapter of functions, bounded function. Bounded function. Chapter of function లో bounded function అనే ఫంక్షన్ ని నేర్చుకొని ఉంటారు. Right? Bounded function. What is bounded function? Range is a finite set. అంటే ఆ రేంజ్ అనేది ఇన్ఫినిటీ వరకు ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవ్వట్లేదు. సంథింగ్ లైక్ వాట్ ఈస్ sin x? Sin x. The range of sin x lies between -1 and 1. For example, sin x తీసుకున్నాను. For example, if I take something like sin x, ఈ sin x వాల్యూ ఖచ్చితంగా ఏ వాల్యూ తీసుకున్నా -1 నుండి +1 మధ్యలోనే ఉంది. For every value, the sin x is lying between -1 and +1. So that means that range is contained in an interval. A range అనేది ఒక పర్టికులర్ ఇంటర్వెల్ లో కంటైన్ అయి ఉంది. Range is contained in an interval. So what does that mean? That is the meaning of a bounded function. Bounded, bound ayi undi. English definition, bounded. It is bounded. Means it is contained. If the range is contained with respect to function, if the range is contained, we'll be calling that as a bounded function. If the range is contained, we'll be calling it as a bounded function. And inko point add cheskunte entante a function bounded kuda avutundi. A function bounded function kuda avutundi. That is your answer, right? Yeah. Please explain bounded function once again. Bounded ante em ledhu nana. బౌండెడ్ అంటే ఈ రేంజ్ అనేది ఒక కంటైన్డ్ ఫంక్షన్ ఉంటే దాన్ని బౌండెడ్ ఫంక్షన్ అంటారు అంతే. రైట్? హోప్ దిస్ ఇస్ క్లియర్. అంటే యు సీ దిస్, ఖచ్చితంగా ప్రతి వాల్యూకి గ్రాఫ్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవుతుంది అండ్ దెర్ విల్ బి ఏ మినిమా అండ్ మాక్సిమా వాల్యూ కరెస్పాండింగ్ టు దట్. దట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంటర్న్ డెఫినేషన్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ పార్ట్. One more. We'll extend this definition. Next, one more point. If f of x is continuous, if f of x is continuous in closed interval a comma b, what happens? If f of x is continuous in closed interval a comma b, I'll say that if something like this, if f of a and f of b, if f of a and f of b are of opposite signs, there exists a root for f of x. There exists a root for f of x between a comma b. There exists a root for f of x between a comma b. The meaning ante f of a and f of b are of opposite sides. There exists a root for f of x between a and b. That meaning ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు చూద్దాం, ఒక కంటిన్యూస్ ఫంక్షన్ ఉంది. లెట్స్ సే దిస్ ఇస్ a, this is b. There is a continuous function. This is a, this is b. Let's say f of b is positive అనుకుందాం, f of a is negative. f of b is positive and f of a is negative. What does that mean? అంటే ఇది కంటిన్యూస్ ఫంక్షన్ అయింది కాబట్టి, as this is a continuous function, if I am going from a to b, as this is a continuous function, if I am going from a to b, this function is intersecting at x-axis at least once. అంతే కదా, ఒకటి పాజిటివ్ ఉంది, ఒకటి నెగటివ్ ఉంది. పాజిటివ్ నుండి నెగటివ్ కి కనెక్ట్ చేసే మధ్యలో x-axis ని ఖచ్చితంగా క్రాస్ చేస్తుంది. Positive to negative, if I am going like that, it is crossing x-axis definitely. So that will be called as a, that is what the statement. There exists a root. And what is root? Root for a function, x-axis. And a graph గీస్తే ఆ గ్రాఫ్ x-axis ని ఎన్నిసార్లు ఇంటర్సెక్ట్ చేస్తుందో, how many times that graph will be intersecting that x-axis, that will be the number of roots for that function, right? The same case. Okay. So let's finish off this theorems part. There is only one more theorem left over. Then we can go with the problems of that. One is that if f of x is continuous in a comma b, there exists some c belongs to a comma b So they are saying f of x is continuous in a comma b. There exists some c which belongs to a comma b such that f of c is equal to f of a plus f of b by 2. Then meaning enti? What is the meaning of that? Very simple. ఇప్పుడు ఇందాక మనం ఒక స్టేట్మెంట్ చూసాం. If there is some continuous function, every value is obtainable. ఒక పాయింట్ చూసాం. ఒక కంటిన్యూస్ ఫంక్షన్ ఉంటే స్మాల్ m అండ్ క్యాపిటల్ m మధ్యలో ప్రతి వాల్యూ obtainable. If there is some continuous function, every value between small m and capital M are obtainable. Am I right? Right? Same idea. ఇప్పుడు ఫంక్షన్ తీసుకుందాం. I'll take a rough function. Let's say this is A, this is B. So this value is f of A, this value is f of B. This value is f of A and this value is f of B. They are saying that there exists some c such that f of A plus f of B by 2. F of A plus f of B by 2, this will be something like this. This is f of A plus f of B by 2. This point is something like this. And indaka manam chusnattu, for every value between this point and this point, it is obtainable. And oka c anedi exist avutundi ikkada. There exists one c which belongs to a comma b such that one value, for at least one value, there exists for such that there exists some c for which belongs to a comma b such that f of c is f of a plus f of b by 2. f of a plus f of b by 2 అనే వాల్యూ ఇది, రైట్? ఈ వాల్యూ నుండి ఇలా గీస్తే మీకు ఒక c అనే వాల్యూ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అవ్వాలి యాజ్ పర్ యువర్ ప్రీవియస్ డిస్కషన్, రైట్? సో యువర్ ఆన్సర్ విల్ బి దిస్ వన్. అంటే ఇందాక తీసుకున్న దానికి ఇది ఒక స్పెషల్ కేస్. సో దిస్ విల్ బి కాల్డ్ యాజ్ IMVT. అంటే చాలా సార్లు ఈ IMVT అనే పదం వినుంటారు క్యాలిక్యులస్ లో. దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ ఇంటర్మీడియట్ మీన్ వాల్యూ థీరం. ఇంటర్మీడియట్ మీన్ వాల్యూ థీరం. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ IMVT, రైట్? ఓకే. IMVT అప్లై చెయ్యాలి అంటే వాట్ ఈస్ ద ప్రైమరీ థింగ్? దిస్ ఇస్ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్. For the IMVT to be applicable, f must be continuous in closed interval a comma b. Right? Now let's see one question. My question will be this one. Conceptual question. Very, very beautiful conceptual question. A and this is B. This is f of x. My statement is this: there exists some c belongs to a comma b such that f of c is equal to f of a plus f of b by 2. True or false? Comment your answer. True or false? Comment your answer in the chat box. అంటే ఇలా ఒక గ్రాఫ్ ఇచ్చారు, connectivity issue, sorry for that gap. Okay, there exists some c which belongs to a comma b such that f of c is equal to f of a plus f of b by 2. Just now we have seen. Let's see a conceptual part of this. The conceptual part of this one looks like this. Like there exists some c, this part, Now here, whenever we are checking for the continuity of the function, whenever we are checking for the continuity of the function check చేసినప్పుడు, continuity of the function check చేసినప్పుడు ఏం చేసాం? open interval ఉంటే, like something like if there is a interval at rightmost point and the leftmost point, what we did is that we have checked for the one-sided continuity. ఇక్కడ చూడండి, ఇక్కడ continuity, this is continuous at this point because value of the function and the right side limit are same here, but here the value of the function and the left side limit are not same. Value of the function and left side limit are not same, so this is discontinuous at B. This is discontinuous at B. Now you can answer regarding this. This is discontinuous at B. Now you can answer regarding this. Is this true or false? Is this true or false? False, true, false. Someone is saying false. Now the answer for this will be true. The answer for this will be true. Reason? I didn't mention. So what if for the false? And false రావడానికి question ఏం ఉండాలి? If I add a word like this, using IMVT, then if I say this question, ఇది ఏంటి? f of a is this part, f of b is this part, right? f of b, f of a. So f of a plus f of b by 2 is this part. Yeah, there exists a c. There exists a c. But ఎప్పుడు ఫాల్స్ అవుతుంది? ఇప్పుడు క్వశ్చన్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అంటే క్వశ్చన్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ మనకి. క్వశ్చన్ అనేది చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఎందుకు ఇంపార్టెంట్? ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు క్వశ్చన్ లో యూజింగ్ ఐఎంబిటి దేర్ ఎగ్జిస్ట్ అ నెంబర్ అన్నప్పుడు ఫాల్స్. ఎందుకంటే ఐఎంబిటి అప్లై చేయడానికి కంటిన్యూటీ ఉండాలి. ఫర్ ద అప్లికేషన్ ఆఫ్ ఐఎంబిటి దేర్ షుడ్ బి కంటిన్యూటీ ఆఫ్ ది ఫంక్షన్. వెనెవర్ దెర్ ఈస్ నో యూజింగ్ ఐఎంబిటి, ది ఆన్సర్ విల్ బి ట్రూ విత్ రిగార్డింగ్ దిస్ ప్రాబ్లం. అంటే మిమ్మల్ని కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేయడానికి క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇలా కూడా ఫ్రేమ్ చేస్తారు. మిమ్మల్ని కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేయడానికి ఎగ్జామ్ లో క్వశ్చన్స్ ఇలా ఫ్రేమ్ చేస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు చాలా మంది అంటారు ఒక ట్రూ అంటారు, ఒకరు ఫాల్స్ అంటారు. కంటిన్యూటీ పోయింది, ఇక్కడ కంటిన్యూటీ లేదు కాబట్టి ఫాల్స్ అని చెప్పేస్తుంటాం. బట్ క్వశ్చన్ చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా చదవాలి మీరు. యూ హ్యావ్ టు రీడ్ దట్ క్వశ్చన్ వెరీ కేర్ఫుల్లీ. ఇఫ్ దే ఆర్ మెన్షనింగ్ ఐఎంవిటి, then the answer will be false. If they are not mentioning using IMVT, answer will be true. Please mind that. That is the reason this is a very beautiful conceptual question, right? I hope this is clear. Yeah, it's clear, I guess. Now, one graphical technique. Let's try to draw one graphical technique. Maximum of f of x is maximum of x plus 1 by x comma x square. F of x is maximum of x plus 1 by x comma x square. I'm asking you points of discontinuity. F of x is maximum of x plus 1 by x comma x square. I'm asking you the points of discontinuity of that function. Reason, right? This is known, but you have to learn how to draw a graph for this. ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్ మీకు తెలుసు, బట్ ఈ గ్రాఫ్ ఎలా గీయాలో మీకు తెలియాలి. y is equal to x plus 1 by x. Y is equal to x plus 1 by x. How do you draw a graph for this one? So today's graphical method is to draw graphs of such kind. అంటే quadratic by quadratic ఉన్నాయి. Something like quadratic by quadratic. For drawing or something of graph of this kind. How to draw the graph of this kind? Like many students are messaging me there. How to draw a graph of x plus 1 by x, sir? How do we draw? ఎలా గీస్తాము? Now follow this techniques. This is very, very important. Please listen carefully. చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా అబ్జర్వ్ చేయండి. This is very helpful. Now, I'm erasing this. I want to draw the graph of y is equal to x plus 1 by x. Y is equal to x plus 1 by x ki graph giyali meeru. Many students are asking the same thing. Y is equal to x plus 1 by x ki graph giyali ante you have to follow these things. First మీరు చెక్ చేయాల్సింది ఏంటంటే domain, second is asymptote, third is shape. Point is that domain, asymptote, shape or critical or stationary. Critical or stationary points. అంటే ఇలాంటి గ్రాఫ్ గీయడానికి to draw a graph of such kind మీకు ఈ కాన్సెప్ట్స్ కావాలి. Please listen very carefully. First is domain. What is the domain of that? Domain is all that set of values of x for which that function is defined. Domain is all that set of values of x for which that function is defined. So domain is x is not equal to 0. This is the domain. X should not be equal to 0, right? Because if x is 0, this is not defined. Now, asymptotes. This is very, very important. Part of asymptotes is very, very important. Asymptote ante enti? This asymptote is very, very important. What is the meaning of asymptote? Asymptote ante straightforward ga define cheyali ante, to define it in a straightforward manner, asymptotes is that line to which the curve meets at infinity, or asymptote is that line which meets the curve at infinity. Means curve travels with that asymptote up to infinity. All in the purest mathematical definition. The mathematical definition cheppali ante asymptote is that graph which is tangent. Asymptote is that line which is tangent to the curve at infinity. Asymptote is that line which is tangent to the curve at infinity. Danni asymptote antaru. So asymptotes are of three kinds. Gurtu pettukondi, చాలా important topic. మీకు బుక్కులలో దొరకదు. You cannot get in books. Please try to remember this method. Asymptote. Asymptotes are of three types. Horizontal, second is vertical, third is right. Asymptotes are of three kinds. One is horizontal, second is vertical, third is oblique asymptote. Din meaning enti? Horizontal ante parallel to x-axis. This is parallel to y-axis. This is a general asymptote. Ante oblique asymptote ante entidi? Neither parallel to x-axis nor parallel to y-axis. That is oblique asymptote. Horizontal asymptote ante parallel to x-axis. Vertical asymptote ante parallel to y-axis. Oblique asymptotes ante neither parallel to x-axis nor parallel to y-axis. These are oblique asymptote. Ela kanukkovali? How do we find equations? There are many methods to find the equations of that one. I'll teach you the most easiest way. Ante chaala methods untayi asymptotes kanukkodaniki. I'll tell you the most easiest way. Please concentrate. First, asymptotes, there are three things. One is horizontal, vertical, oblique. Asymptotes are the three kinds: horizontal, vertical, and oblique. Sir, your voice is not clear. I hope my voice is clear. And someone has asked it, can we take the domain as r minus 0? And that is what? Domain x is not equal to 0. It means that it is r minus 0. That is absolutely fine. Okay? Now, asymptotes are like horizontal, vertical, and asymptote, oblique asymptote. First, let's start with horizontal. ప్లీజ్ టేక్ ఎ స్క్రీన్ షాట్ ఆఫ్ ది స్టెప్స్. ఏదైతే రాస్తున్నానో ఆ స్టెప్ కి స్క్రీన్ షాట్ తీసుకోండి. ప్లీజ్ టేక్ ఎ స్క్రీన్ షాట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ ది స్టెప్స్. Is it okay? Now, horizontal asymptote. Horizontal asymptote, as I have mentioned that, it is parallel to your x-axis. What you do is that y is equal to x plus 1 by x. This is the equation given. Try to write everything to one side. And cross multiply chesi one side rayandi. Cross multiply chesi try to write one side. Right? Write equation on one side. Write the equation on one side. Something like this. Xy, or I'll write something like this. X square minus xy plus 1 is equal to 0. Try to write the equation on one side. X square minus xy plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay? After that, to get the horizontal method, ఇది ఇంపార్టెంట్, చాలా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. కాన్సంట్రేట్. ఈక్వేట్ కోఎఫిషియంట్ ఆఫ్ highest equation of coefficient of highest power of x. Equate the coefficient of highest power of x to 0. Equate the coefficient of highest power of x to 0. To get a horizontal asymptote, first ఏం చేయాలి? ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. ఫస్ట్ స్టెప్ ఏంటంటే ఈక్వేషన్ మొత్తం ఒక సైడ్ రాయండి. You try to write the equation completely on one side. Try to write the equation completely on one side. After that, equate the coefficient of highest power of x to 0. అంటే ఇక్కడ చూద్దాం. ఈక్వేషన్ చూడండి. You see the beauty of this equation. You see this equation. What about this equation? X square minus xy plus 1 is equal to 0. What is highest power of x? What is highest power of x? ఇగో x square అనేది highest power of x. X square అనేది highest power of x. X square అనేది highest power of x. ఈ x square coefficient ఏమవుద్ది? 1. So if I am doing this, you will get 1 is equal to 0. If I am doing this, you will get 1 is equal to 0, which is absurd. If I am doing this, you are getting 1 is equal to 0, which is completely absurd. ఎందుకు 1 0 కి ఈక్వల్ అవుద్దా? ఎంటైర్ మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ విల్ బి రాంగ్ నౌ if that is happening. So అంటే దీని బట్టి మనకి ఏం అర్థం అవుతుంది ఈక్వేషన్ లో? What are we understanding here? When I'm equating this coefficient of highest power of x to 0, you are getting an absurd result. అంటే ఒక valid result రావట్లేదు. I'm equating that, you are not getting a valid result. What is the meaning of that? It means that no horizontal asymptote. I'm equating the coefficient of highest power of x to 0. You are not getting anything something like that, right? So it means that there is no horizontal asymptote. We're talking about vertical asymptote. Vertical asymptote is something like this. Now x square, this is the equation. X square minus xy plus 1 is equal to 0. So how do you connect this vertical asymptote? Vertical asymptote, you equate coefficient of highest power. You equate coefficient of highest power of y to 0. Horizontal asymptote కావాలి అంటే you have equated coefficient of highest power of x to 0. For getting a vertical asymptote, you are equating coefficient of highest power of y to 0. So what you are getting here? You are getting y is equal to 0. X is equal to 0. This is the highest power of y. What is the coefficient of that one? That is x. x is equal to 0 is whatever is obtained. Equate coefficient of highest power of y to 0. That is nothing but your x is equal to 0. That is nothing but x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0 is acting as a vertical asymptote. Right? Now, oblique asymptote. Steps will be something like this. What you do is that substitute oblique asymptote will be something like that. Substitute y is equal to mx plus c. Substitute y is equal to mx plus c. If I'm substituting y is equal to mx plus c, then equate coefficients of highest and next highest powers of x to 0. You equate coefficient of highest and next highest powers of x to 0. Get coefficient of highest and the next highest powers of x to 0. What does that mean? So this value will be something like this. X square minus x into mx plus c is equal to 0. Plus 1 is equal to 0. So you'll get something like this. X square minus mx square minus cx plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is 1 minus m into x square minus cx plus 1 is equal to 0. This is 1 minus m into x square minus cx plus 1 is equal to 0. So I told you to equate coefficients of highest and next highest powers of x to 0. So it means that you'll get it as m is equal to 1 and c is equal to 0. Highest, next highest powers of x ni 0 ki equal cheyali. Then you will be getting this is m is equal to 1 and c is equal to 0. Then you will be getting m is equal to 1 and c is equal to 0. M is 1 and c is equal to 0. So what is now your equation? You are substituting y is equal to mx plus c substitute chesaru. Y is equal to mx plus c substitute cheste. You are getting m is equal to 1 and c is equal to 0. So what is that equation now? That equation is y is equal to x. Y is equal to x. అంటే ఈ పార్ట్కి ఎన్ని అసిమ్టోట్స్ ఉన్నాయి? హారిజాంటల్ అసిమ్టోట్ లేదు. వర్టికల్ అసిమ్టోట్ ఏంటి? వర్టికల్ అసిమ్టోట్ is x is equal to 0 and oblique asymptote is y is equal to x. నానా మీరు రాసుకోలేకపోతే you take a screenshot. If you are not in a position to write, please take screenshot. If you are not in a position to write, please take a screenshot so that you can review it afterwards. Horizontal కావాలి అంటే coefficient of highest power of x ని 0 కి ఈక్వల్ చేయండి. Vertical కావాలి అంటే coefficient of highest power of y కి 0 కి ఈక్వల్ చేయండి. Oblique asymptote కావాలి అంటే you equate to 0 the coefficient after substitution of y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c substitute చేయండి. చేసిన తర్వాత you equate the coefficients of highest and the next highest powers of x to 0. ఇది మెథడ్ asymptotes కనుక్కోవడానికి ఇది మెథడ్. This is the way to find asymptotes, right? So what we got with respect to this problem? Horizontal asymptote is not existing. Vertical asymptote is x is equal to 0 and oblique asymptote. Horizontal asymptote is not existing. Vertical asymptote is x is equal to 0 and oblique asymptote is y is equal to x. Right? Now, work with asymptotes is over. Now, you might have studied in the chapter of maxima minima, that is concavity and convexity. You might have studied in the chapter of maxima and minima about the concavity and the convexity of that function. Right? So, you take y is equal to x plus 1 by x, differentiate and equate to 0. So 1 minus 1 by x square equal to 0. So we'll get x is equal to plus or minus 1. After that, what you do? Again you double differentiate. What will be f double dash x? This will be 2 by x cube. x cube. 2 by x cube. Now try to get this value. F double dash x at x is equal to +1. A value ఏమవుతుంది positive. F double dash x at x is equal to -1, this is negative. F double dash at x is equal to +1 is positive, and F double dash x at x is equal to -1 is negative. F double dash x at x is equal to -1 is negative. What does that mean? దాని మీనింగ్ ఏంటిది? ఇప్పుడు ఇలా డిఫరెన్షియేట్ చేసి 0 కి ఈక్వల్ చేస్తే, if you are equating to 0 after differentiation, what you are getting? You are getting stationary points. If you are equating to 0 after differentiation like this, what you are getting is that you are getting stationary points. And after finding the double derivative, what you are getting? After finding the double derivative, what you are getting? Right? It means that after finding the double derivative, if I am substituting the stationary points, you will get local maxima and local minima. ఈ స్టేషనరీ పాయింట్స్ ని సబ్స్టిట్యూట్ చేస్తే డబుల్ డెరివేటివ్ లో మీకు వచ్చేది ఏంటంటే లోకల్ మాక్సిమా అండ్ లోకల్ మినిమా. రైట్? ఇట్ టేక్స్ 2 minutes, then we can leave it off. Right? సో ఇప్పుడు f double dash x at x is equal to +1 దగ్గర మీకు పాజిటివ్ వచ్చింది. సో వాట్ డస్ దిస్ మీన్? దిస్ మీన్స్ ఎ లోకల్ మినిమా. దిస్ మీన్స్ ఎ లోకల్ మినిమా. ఇక్కడ ఏమొచ్చింది? నెగటివ్ వచ్చింది. దిస్ మీన్స్ ఎ లోకల్ maxima. This means a local minima and this means a local maxima. Now, so local minima వచ్చింది, local maxima వచ్చింది. ఇంకొక పార్ట్ ఏంటిది? f double dash x పాజిటివ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, ఒక పాయింట్ దగ్గర f double dash x పాజిటివ్ అయింది అనుకోండి, రైట్? f double dash x is positive, shape of the curve will be concave upwards. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఇది చాలా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. If that is positive, shape of that curve will be concave upwards. If f double dash x is negative, shape of that curve is concave downwards. F double dash x is positive, concave upwards వస్తుంది. F double dash x negative అయితే concave downwards వస్తుంది. Local minima, local maxima. Right? So ఇది వచ్చిన తర్వాత చూద్దాం. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేద్దాం? వెరీ సింపుల్. ఫస్ట్ ఇలా తీసుకోండి, గ్రాఫ్ తీసుకోండి. నౌ ఒరిజినల్ గ్రాఫ్. వెరీ సింపుల్. మనకి ఇప్పుడు అన్ని పార్ట్స్ అయిపోయాయి. డొమైన్ చూసుకున్నాము, అసిమ్టోట్స్ చూసాం. ఆఫ్టర్ డొమైన్ అసిమ్టోట్స్. అసిమ్టోట్స్ తర్వాత స్టేషనరీ పాయింట్స్. ఆ స్టేషనరీ పాయింట్స్ ని మార్క్ చేసుకోండి. -1, +1. మార్క్ ద స్టేషనరీ పాయింట్స్. -1, +1. -1, +1. Now it means this part. Then what you do is that you mark the asymptotes. తర్వాత ఏం చేయండి అంటే asymptotes ని మార్క్ చేయండి. This is one asymptote. Second asymptote is this. ఒక asymptote ఏమవుతుంది? ఒక asymptote ఏమో x is equal to 0. ఇంకొక asymptote ఏమవుతుంది? What is the second asymptote? The second asymptote is nothing but your y is equal to x. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేయండి అంటే ఈ +1 దగ్గర ఏమొస్తుంది? At +1 what you are getting? At +1 you are getting a local minima. అంటే ఆ కర్వ్ లో మినిమా పాయింట్. యాక్చువల్ గా ఏంటంటే మ్యాథమెటిక్స్ లో చాలా టాపిక్స్ వేరే వేరే టాపిక్స్ కి లింక్ అయి ఉంటాయి. అంటే ఇది అర్థం కావాలి అంటే మీ మాక్సిమా మినిమా లింక్ బాగుండాలి. మీ మాక్సిమా మినిమా కరెక్ట్ గా ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈ గ్రాఫ్ అర్థం అవుతుందమ్మా. రైట్? సో దిస్ ఇస్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ ఎ లోకల్ మినిమా. అంటే ఈ పాయింట్ దగ్గర ఒక మినిమా వాల్యూ రావాలి. అండ్ వాట్ ఈస్ ద షేప్ ఆఫ్ ది కర్వ్? షేప్ ఆఫ్ ది కర్వ్ కాన్కేవ్ అప్వర్డ్స్. మినిమా పాయింట్ రావాలి, షేప్ ఆఫ్ ది కర్వ్ కాన్కేవ్ అప్వర్డ్స్ అవ్వాలి. మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? ఇగో ఇలా ఈ అసిమ్టోట్స్ మధ్యలో గ్రాఫ్ గీయండి. ఈ అసిమ్టోట్స్ మధ్యలో ఇలా గ్రాఫ్ గీసేయండి. మళ్ళీ ఈ -1 దగ్గర లోకల్ మాక్సిమా రావాలి, అంటే మాక్సిమం పాయింట్ రావాలి. అండ్ ఈ అసిమ్టోట్స్ మధ్యలో గ్రాఫ్ గీయండి. ఇగో ఈ షేప్ ఏమో కాన్కేవ్ అప్వర్డ్స్, ఈ షేప్ ఏమో కాన్కేవ్ డౌన్వర్డ్స్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద గ్రాఫ్ రిలేటెడ్ టు దట్. యాక్చువల్గా ఏంటంటే ఈరోజు కొంచెం డెప్త్ గా వెళ్ళాను.